Happening now. Elon Musk completely loses it after Koenigsegg and Toyota CEO mock Tesla. The auto industry has entered a new era, one shaped not just by engineering but by ego, ambition, and shifting power. And at the center of this storm is Tesla, once untouchable, now under siege. For years, Tesla defined the electric vehicle narrative. Elon Musk's every move, tweet, and reveal dictated headlines. Legacy automakers scrambled just to stay relevant. But recently the cracks have begun to show. The first blow came with Tesla's first quarter 2025 delivery numbers, just over 336,000 vehicles, a 13% drop from the previous year. It marked Tesla's first year-over-year decline since the pandemic. Wall Street reacted with fury. Tesla's stock plunged, wiping over $100 billion in market value in just 48 hours. Even longtime Tesla bull Dan Ives called it a code red, slashing his price target by nearly half. Internally, the company was facing turbulence. Production issues, supply chain bottlenecks, and lukewarm reception to the Model Y refresh, codenamed Juniper, suggested a company in reactive mode. Instead of revolutionary tech, the refresh felt like a placeholder. And Musk, instead of calming nerves, seemed distracted, embroiled in social media spats and political feuds. The balance between visionary and volatile was tipping. But Tesla's biggest problem wasn't just numbers, it was the rising tide of competition. Enter Toyota. While Tesla stumbled, Toyota was quietly executing a masterstroke. The world's largest automaker by volume was no longer on the sidelines of the EV race. In early 2025, Toyota announced plans to launch 15 new EVs by 2027, with production spread across the US, Thailand, and Argentina. Their aim: build 1 million EVs annually and eliminate supply chain risks by going global. Toyota's moves were strategic and understated, just how they like it. Their messaging remained calm, even poetic. The 2025 4Runner launched with the tagline, "Your window to the wild." No bold claims, no flashy launches, just confidence. Then came CES 2025. Toyota's former CEO and current chairman Akio Toyoda took the stage, not to show off a car but to talk rockets. Toyota had invested in Interstellar Technologies, a private Japanese space company. And then came the statement that echoed across the industry. The future of mobility shouldn't be limited to just Earth or just one car company. No names were mentioned, but the implication was crystal clear. He didn't stop there. Toyota made subtle jabs at Tesla's strategy, mocking cars built around entertainment systems and emphasizing Toyota's focus on vehicles that last 20 years. Insiders knew these weren't just corporate flexes, they were calculated, symbolic punches from a company tired of being underestimated. And while Toyota laid down its global EV blueprint, another unlikely challenger entered the arena, not with mass production, but with a statement of raw power. Koenigsegg. The Swedish hypercar maker unveiled the final specs for its Gamera in March 2025. Originally designed with a 3-cylinder hybrid setup, the final version now features a twin-turbocharged 5-liter V8, dubbed the Hot V8, combined with Koenigsegg's dark matter electric motor. The result? A staggering 2,300 horsepower and 2,750 Nm of torque, 0 to 60, faster than a blink, and it seats 4. This wasn't just a technical marvel, it was a direct response. CEO Christian von Koenigsegg said the upgrade was motivated by what others were promising. Everyone knew who he meant. Years earlier, Elon Musk had promised the second-gen Tesla Roadster would crush gasoline cars with 0 to 60 times under 2 seconds. That car still hasn't materialized. But the Gamera? It's real. It's roaring. Koenigsegg didn't name Tesla, but the subtext was unmistakable. The company even teased their tiny electric quark motor. 335 horsepower from just 63 pounds. It was innovation that looked effortless. And Christian? He didn't gloat, he simply said, "We just remind them what real performance looks like." Tesla, meanwhile, was still chasing deadlines. The EV arms race was no longer just about technology, it had become personal. Rivals weren't just trying to win, they were enjoying Tesla's stumbles. The Chinese powerhouse, quietly dethroned Tesla in global EV deliveries for the third straight quarter. In the first quarter of 2025, they shipped over 416,000 battery EVs, nearly 80,000 more than Tesla. Elon Musk downplayed it, tweeting cryptic quotes about volume versus innovation. But the market noticed. Back home, the long-delayed Cybertruck was piling up in storage lots due to minor build issues. The Roadster? Still MIA. And while Tesla finally launched the Juniper refresh, it failed to excite. Better range, cleaner design, but nothing groundbreaking. Analysts called it practical, fans called it meh. Tesla responded with aggressive price cuts in markets like Germany and South Korea. But lower prices don't inspire confidence, they signal desperation. A company once seen as a tech juggernaut now felt like it was just trying to keep up. Behind the scenes, auto executives began speaking more openly. At a private summit in Munich, one former Tesla supplier quipped, "You don't build an empire on memes and wishful thinking." Laughter followed, not polite but sharp. Other competitors piled on. A German engineer mocked Tesla's autopilot as the world's most expensive beta test. Another likened Tesla's dashboards to iPads in a toaster. Even inside Tesla's own ecosystem, cracks were forming. Online forums lit up with complaints, endless delays, missed features, and frustration over the company's scattered direction. Elon, meanwhile, kept tweeting about AI and space politics, seemingly unfazed. But the industry was watching, and remembering. Years ago, Musk had mocked Toyota's hybrid strategy, and dismissed supercar makers as irrelevant. Now, those same companies were beating him at his own game, and throwing shade while doing it. It wasn't just competition anymore, it was payback. In the months after the first quarter dip, things didn't improve. Internally, Tesla employees described burnout, shifting priorities, and missed deadlines. The Juniper refresh came and went with little fanfare. There was no breakout innovation, no roadmap for what came next. And while Tesla wrestled with its future, Toyota and Koenigsegg moved with clarity. Toyota wasn't just building EVs, they were offering battery tech to rivals, potentially positioning themselves as the backbone of the global EV supply chain. Koenigsegg wasn't chasing volume, they were redefining performance and reminding the world that EVs could still thrill. In this reshaped EV landscape, Tesla's once dominant position looked increasingly precarious. Not because it lacked innovation, but because it lost the narrative. The disruptor had become the disrupted. And as whispers turned into headlines and rivals once ignored began stealing the spotlight, one thing became clear: the electric future isn't waiting for Elon Musk anymore. The electric revolution was never going to be a straight line. It was always a battleground of ideas, of engineering, of egos. For years, Tesla led the charge. But leadership isn't just about being first, it's about staying ahead when everyone else catches up. And now, they've caught up. Toyota, long dismissed as slow and conservative, is reshaping the EV supply chain with quiet precision. They've invested in solid-state batteries, announced production partnerships across continents, and doubled down on a hybrid strategy that still sells millions of cars a year. Their approach isn't flashy, but it works. And they're betting on longevity, not hype. Koenigsegg, a name once confined to luxury niches, now influences the conversation around performance EVs. Their hybrid electric systems and ultra-light electric motors aren't just engineering achievements, they're proof that innovation doesn't need volume to make waves. They showed that EVs can still shock, still excite, and still push boundaries. Even BYD, a company most Americans had never heard of 5 years ago, has become a global force. Their vertically integrated strategy allows them to control every part of the EV equation, from battery cells to chips to final assembly. They aren't trying to win headlines. They're winning markets. In contrast, Tesla feels like it's fighting a war on too many fronts. Price wars, political controversies, missed launches, and increasing skepticism from investors. Once hailed as a decade ahead, they're now surrounded by competitors who don't just mimic, they innovate. The message is clear, this isn't 2015 anymore. Back then, Tesla was the lone voice in the wilderness pushing electric dreams in a world of gas and doubt. Now EVs are inevitable, and that changes the game. The narrative has shifted. It's no longer about who started it, it's about who finishes strong. And the competition isn't playing catch-up anymore, they're planning, building, executing. For Tesla, the path forward will require more than Cybertrucks and software updates. It'll require something harder to regain than market share trust. Trust from investors, from customers, from the broader auto industry that once looked to Musk as a prophet, because when the disruptor becomes the incumbent, the bar rises. And when the promises pile up without delivery, people stop listening. This isn't the end of Tesla, but it may be the end of its dominance. The electric throne is no longer reserved. It's being contested by giants like Toyota, innovators like Koenigsegg, and global titans like BYD. And for the first time in a long time, Tesla is being forced to play defense. Welcome to the new era of electric vehicles, where the war isn't about who gets there first, it's about who stays on top. And as history has always shown, Empires fall, especially when they forget why they rose in the first